What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. After a hiatus, your boy Sachin is back for an instant match reaction for Everton 2, Chelsea 2 at the Bridge. Vital point away from home. And excuse me if my voice is a little different. Been battling a cold first since COVID. Sucks, but it is what it is. So right into it. No team changes. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Sort of deal. You know, we've had a good run of form, I would say, given where we've been the last 2 years, and we go into a Chelsea away match where, I mean, we haven't won there since '94 under Joe Royal. So I mean, Chelsea are shite, but we're Everton. So going into the match, all I wanted was a draw. I told a buddy I was like, who was watching the match, I was like, 0-0 would be perfect for me. And based off the first half, that's the way it was heading. First half, not too much happened. Big fan of Tarkowski just clotheslining Joao Felix and getting away with it. Joao Felix is a little petulant bitch, but of course he gets a goal. Everton that. But the first half, I don't think, I mean, you saw they had the possession. They didn't do too much with it. There's no sense of urgency from Chelsea. It's crazy how Graham Potter at Brighton, it's such good football, free flowing, all the right things, and then Chelsea, it's just dire. It's not negative football, but no impetus, no sense of urgency out of them, and so the first half, I mean, I was watching it, but I can't really remember any key moments other than Ghana maybe shouldn't have been booked, and then one of their center backs, not Fofana, I forget, should have been booked on a challenge. But wasn't. But the referee was dreadful all day, per usual. We'll get to the pen, but not too much to talk about in the first half, I think. Second half, Joao Felix's goal, it is what it is. I like saying that a lot, but not a great goal, not a bad goal, but it's tough to concede that, especially away from home and with how bad we are at scoring in general. And so I thought 1-0 down at that point, it was going to be 0 points, let alone 1 or 3. But credit for us. We had some chances. I mean, McNeil had a one across the box. Keno's header. I mean, we know he can score. I know some people, and myself included, were like, throw him at striker. He can't be worse than Mape. But you have to think that he gets more than a glancing header on it. I mean, he's good in the air. That's his best attribute, defensively and offensively. And for him to get a glancing header on a great ball in by Demi, kind of disappointing. Kind of disappointing because he gets ahead on that. It's 1-1, but we don't. And then credit to us. Once we go forward, I understand. I mean, I'm not gonna question the tactics because I like the tactics. But first half we're all just sitting back, behind the ball, playing for the counter, which is fine. But second half, when we went down and we started being more creative and pressing a bit higher and throwing another body into the attack, I mean, Chelsea were crumbling. I mean, they didn't look... We look good. I don't know if we look good or they look bad. I couldn't figure that one out. But either way, we were on the front foot, I would say. And, good shit off the corner. Tarkovsky wins another header, and Abdo just does an Abdo thing, I guess, and puts it over Kepa's little T-Rex arms. And it's 1-1. And, I thought we were still a better team after we got the equalizer. The penalty, okay, it probably was a penalty, but the way I look at all these decisions is, are we getting that on the other end? And that's no. So, bullshit. Godfrey had a little nibble, but I mean, the penalty decision, I mean, I'm annoyed with, but how Havertz took the penalty is atrocious. Like, I know the Lewandowski method where he takes that big pause, but he's still moving. He still has momentum. Havertz fucking stopped. And credit to Pickford, he stayed there. He stayed there until like the last moment possible. And if he had guessed correctly, I think he would have gotten it. But that penalty, that shit should be stamped out of the game. Like, no, retake that penalty or just disallow it if you do that kind of shit. Like, that's ridiculous. That's just, it's the same thing as encroachment. Just should not be allowed. But of course it is given. 2-1, and then Simsy, the main man with a better head of lettuce than myself. What do you know? Like, wow, like, what a striker's goal that was. I mean, I don't want to say he reminds me of Lukaku because he's not clearly as polished, but the strength to roll the center back and then the finish into that far post off, the save. That was Romelu Lukaku, and it reminded me a lot of Lukaku's goal at City way back when, I think 2016, when he rolled Gael Clichy and just slotted it with his left foot. I got a flashback to that because, that's a proper striker's goal. What he did, gets it, turns, rolls the center half, cool, calm, and collected into the bottom corner. And I'm made up for him. We need a striker. Demi, I don't mind how we look with Demi under there, but Demi's not a striker. If Demi was playing right under Sims, I don't know who gets dropped. That's it's for a smarter person than me, but I think that could be a dangerous link-up play because Sims is gonna win the header. Sims is a fucking unit. He's a beast. Wins the header, Damian behind, kind of like Richie Dom last year or 2 years ago when we were actually good. And so I hope that Sean can introduce something like that. But I mean, that's a great goal, made up for him. The fans, once again, best fans in the world, always class, singing loud and full of heart. And then the full time scenes, I mean, you saw, the away end was bouncing. I would say go have a pint in London, but you're gonna spend £10 on a shit pint of Carlsberg or something. So maybe just have a 12-pack, as we say in the States, on the coach back home. But I mean, that was a great point. We're not in relegation form under Dyche. 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. That's very good form. And we're 15th. I mean, I know we played a game over most teams, 2 over West Ham, but we just keep picking up points. We're definitely not. Palace. They're gonna point to Roy Hodgson, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but I mean, they're not going to be. They're going to be in the fight for the relegation. So it's anyone's guess who's going to go down other than Southampton, because the results kind of went our way. The Leeds result didn't, but I mean, we're only 1 point behind Wolves at this point. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a good feeling, knock on wood, that we'll keep picking up points. We have Spurs at home up next, and I watched that second half of Spurs Saints, and excuse me, and Spurs, they didn't look good. I mean, I know the only reason they got a point was Harry Kane. He can just get a goal out of nothing. But Saints took it to them. Southampton took it to them, and that when they went down 3-1, and it was credit to them, they fought back. I don't think they deserved the pen, but I would be livid if that happened to us. But they got the pen. And I just want to close by saying, I tweeted it, but Onana, I mean, he's going to rip our hearts out. The full time when we were chanting, I could see him mouth, "I fucking love it." And he did it a few times. And, I know his form the last couple of matches weren't great. I thought he was pretty good today. But, he does like it here. And we all know a certain star boy who's not even on the bench for Newcastle claimed he did, but you can see it with Amadou. You can see how much he wants to be here, and so hopefully we avoid relegation. A full transfer window with the rumored funds that we've been hearing about for the last couple of years in the summer could be a very good thing for the club. I mean, I'm very excited to see what we can do with a full transfer window and summer of training. Under Dyche, because he's not nearly as negative as I would have thought as a manager. Yes, he sets us up not to lose, but he understands how to win a match and how to get a point if needed, and that's something Frank didn't. And so you get a few more players that are better quality in the side. Get a striker in, get a new winger or two, and I really think that we could be a force to be reckoned with. It may not be pretty, but I mean, I don't care about the Roberto Martinez free-flowing style where you just ship in goals on some nonsense. I want results. It's a results game. And so I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to pick a man of the match. If I had to, I'd give it to Sims. I mean, how can you not? Even though there's some other players that were immense. But I'll leave it at that. Up the fucking Toffees, Colin Chong.